Hello and welcome to the Happy Little Futures podcast. Before we begin, I just want you to relax. Get your shoulders nice and loose, spine straight, and I want you to take a deep breath in and out. And we will begin. Right, after the last episode where I did a breath in and out at the end, a good friend suggested that I do that at the start too because he found it quite helpful. So I normally post on a Thursday. That might change. I'm a parent. I don't know what's coming and going. But this week I haven't posted on a Thursday. It's a Sunday. I haven't posted because it's been the last week of term. There's been a lot of anxiety from my eldest with leaving her teacher. There's been barely any from my middle one with leaving nursery. It was just me that cried on his last day. um, and it's just been a bit chaotic. And as with most people's lives, I've sort of gone, oh, I'll do it in a minute. I'll do it in a minute. I'll record in a bit. I'll wait until it's quiet. I'll wait until the kids go out. And then I've suddenly gone, oh, they're not going out. So they're downstairs at the moment. It's a chilled Sunday evening. I have unlocked a new parenting level today. So we've had the last choir of term. So I took my eldest to that, then came home. We did a quick cheese and crackers, went out to my niece's party, finished that party, went over to a leavers party for nursery that some of the moms had put together, which was wonderful. And about an hour before the end, my son came over and he was going, Mummy, Mummy, I can't. And he was pointing to his throat and his mouth, and I was looking at his lips and sort of trying to look at the size of his tongue, going, is he anaphylactic? Has he had something that I didn't know he couldn't have? Which doesn't make sense because I didn't know there was anything that he couldn't not have. Trying to think of who might have an EpiPen, all of that sort of stuff. And I was sort of trying to figure out if it was an allergy or if there was something else going on. And he's had a cough like most kids have for about a month now. Not bad, just sort of like when he's tired and stuff, it comes on. And he was sort of coughing a little bit, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. And so I stood up and I called my husband, and I was trying to ask, I'd been trying to ask him what was going on and sort of saying, look, I can help you if you tell me what's like exactly what's wrong. And I stood up with him and I called my husband over as I picked him up to head level, and he projectile vomited all over me. I mean, when I say all over me, I mean literally from my shoulder right down to my sock. I was soaked. And my response was, well, that's what was wrong. and, and I didn't really realise that that had been my response until a load of mums that had been watching. I mean, it happened. My husband came running over and he'd been helping our youngest. And I said, look, you just take him to the toilet and get him cleaned up. And I was looking down at me and I sort of looked around and there were all of these mums looking at me and we were all just looking, going, well, what do we do? I mean, there was quite a few mums and none of us could figure out what to do. Everyone was like, I don't have baby wipes. And then one mum bought over some baby wipes and we were all just looking like, well, that ain't gonna do anything. so so I just, and every single time all of them kept going, it was just the way you went, well, that's what was wrong, so calmly. And I did say to one of them, I don't really know how else I could have responded. I suppose maybe I was thinking about it when I was in the shower trying to trying to clean up. I'm not sure I'm ever going to feel clean again. Trying to clean up. I was like, I can't remember fully what I was like pre-COVID. And pre-COVID was I had two kids, and I didn't do any of the mindfulness and meditation stuff with them. I wasn't really actively doing it myself because I was a parent. Every so often I might go, oh, I'm going to do one now. And then I wouldn't for 6 months. And I was thinking afterwards, I was like, I wonder whether that reaction would have happened before COVID and before I started doing like the yoga with the kids and trying to do a bit of mindfulness and stuff like that with them. Or I wonder whether it would have been a bit of a ah What did you do? What do I do? Sort of thing, whilst spinning around in circles, holding this child at arm's length, who's probably like about to vom anyway, because I'm now making him dizzy from spinning him around. Um, so so I did sort of reflect afterwards, and I thought, well, maybe that's me that's changed. Actually, maybe like what would other people have done in that situation? Maybe I reacted very calmly, or maybe I was just sort of subconsciously just like, well, yeah, that happened. What? Can't do anything about it now. So yes, that was an event and a half. The kids have we've come home. I've got showered. I've recorded a meditation whilst I'm whilst it's nice and quiet. It's a lot quieter than normal. They've got a bit of, I don't know what they're watching, some weird dog program that will probably make them very hyper again. Um, Annoyingly, despite having two parties that they've eaten loads at and have had lunch and everything before they went to, well, lunch, it was cheese and crackers, not trees and crackers. Um, because he threw up, our middle one is hungry. So my husband is currently sorting them out a bit of food. But yeah, I've sort of recorded an audio and gone, actually, yeah, I'm ready for bed now. It's been a week of high emotions. Um, like I said, my eldest has really struggled with that transition. She doesn't want to leave her teacher. Her teacher is absolutely wonderful. The TA has been absolutely wonderful, and it's been a really lovely introduction to school for her. Um, in her report, her teacher said that she said the one thing that she needs to work on is her self belief because she is a superstar, and I just thought that was really wonderful to hear. Um, and I thought actually that's something that I wouldn't see if or know necessarily if it wasn't for her going to school, because a lot of the stuff that we do at home or sort of out and about, she's in the comfort of her family. She is the pack leader with the kids. She tells them what to do, they react. If they don't want to do it, she can go off and do her own thing, or she can get the other one to do it. So she's very much in a safe place at home. And I wasn't really aware that she was quite so anxious, socially anxious, maybe is the right phrase, at school, and sort of lacked that confidence. So that's been really, really good for helping her and helping me to know what's going on with her. So we've practiced lots of affirmations this week. We've done more breathing and sort of had a bit more time out and mindfulness than we normally would do. She Every night she'd make something for her teacher to take in the next day just to help that transition. Also, as I've said before, crafting is her happy place. That's where she really is at her best with sort of mindfulness and meditative behaviour. Um, so she's drawn pictures. She made them a key ring for end of term. She decorated a mug. So we've done lots of sort of calming meditative activities for her at home, and then she's had them to help her in the transition into school with giving them to the teachers and that little bit of nice thing to help her through. So it's been a hard old week. As it happens, I was so worried on Thursday. She nearly pulled her teacher over as we went to leave the class. She'd gone back in for a week, came back out, and gave her teacher a hug and wouldn't let go. And me and the teacher were trying to sort of coax her out, and and it was harder than trying to get my son out for nursery when it was his last day. And she sort of started to move with the teacher, but then the teacher sort of started to fall, and I was sort of holding her arm, sort of thinking, "Oh, we're going now," but didn't realise the teacher was still attached. So yeah, so she nearly pulled over the teacher when we were trying to leave, but and it was really difficult. She slammed the brakes on the whole way home. We tried sort of normally walk home with a friend, and her daughter came over and helped her out, which was the cutest thing ever. And we tried to sort of get her gently out the room and gently home and persuade her with hugs and talk about all the good things that we've got going on over the summer, and like how close it is to her birthday and all that sort of stuff. And get her out of the classroom. So I was absolutely dreading going in on Friday and having to get her. They had the option of finishing early at lunchtime, which I was like, I mean, maybe selfishly, but I was like, yes, we can finish early. I get my babies back sooner. But also, I was very aware that a lot of parents would get their child sooner, so I didn't want her to be left there expecting to have more of a party and not have anything. So I was very much like, no, getting her at lunchtime is the right thing to do. So I went to get her and was expecting tears, was expecting the same as the day before, like almost pulling the teacher over and stuff like that. And instead, she waltzed out happy as Larry. And it completely threw me off guard because I was just like, well, I've been preparing myself all day to cry and have a sad moment, and now it's a good moment, and I think that's good. The teacher said she'd had lots of cuddles throughout the day, and that was lovely. Um, but yeah, it really threw me then, that change of behaviour. But you know what? She's been happy ever since. She did say to me on the way home, she said, I said, how are you feeling? And she said, happy and sad and angry. And I was like, oh, why are you feeling angry? And she was like, because I don't want to leave my teacher. And I thought that was so perceptive of her to be able to differentiate between that feeling of sad and that feeling of angry. And so that's, I sort of said to her, I can understand why you're angry, and sort of tried to help her along with it. But and I can understand why she was angry. I can remember leaving good teachers for bad teachers and not wanting to move on and having to leave for secondary school and not knowing what was coming and all that sort of stuff. So I can completely understand why she was feeling angry. But yeah, I just thought it was really perceptive of her to comprehend that while she was feeling two negative feelings, they were two very different negative feelings. So, so yeah, so it's been a week. It's been a week of highs and a week of lows. I've not been very well. I've been up and down all week, mostly down with my fibro. Um, but you know what? Each moment as it comes, and it's the summer holidays now, so we've got lots of exciting things planned. I say we've got lots of exciting things planned. We haven't got many. We're going on holiday, going camping with my parents, and we're doing other little bits and bobs, but mostly we'll wing it day to day and we'll have a fantastic time. And I just can't wait to do some lovely things with them. So, and then when we go back, I'll have two of them in school, which I'm still feeling really rocky about. I know I've said in the past that I'd love to homeschool, and it's still very much on my radar because I could homeschool. Um, but at the moment, I feel that maybe the environment better suited to them for this moment is school, for a variety of reasons. And I'll always be happy to have them back if they need to come back, and I'll always look after them. So it'll be fine whatever happens, and I've just got to release my little man to the school system and hope that he is okay, and hope that I get more insights like that teacher gave me of, like, she needs to work on her self-belief. And I just think that that's so wonderful that now we can work on her self-belief together, and we can create daily little snippets as part of our routine, to build it into her life. And I mean, that's what my course, if any of you have seen that I do a course called Helping Children with Mindfulness for parents, carers and professionals, because it can suit teachers and childminders and stuff just as much. That's what we talk about in that. And it's just such a valuable thing to be able to just adjust little things throughout your day to help your kids, to help them with how they're feeling, with sort of confidence, resilience, anxiety, just with everything. So yeah, so just to finish on it's been a bit of an up and down one for you today. So yeah, so in summary, I unlocked a new parenting level of puke at a party, masses of puke at a party. I have had a lot going on. My family have had a lot going on, and we've got through the week, and we are looking forward to the summer. So now we're just going to stop and with me so that I am ready to go downstairs and have a cuddle before bedtime, and so that you are ready to carry on with your day. We'll just take a deep breath into your tummy and out through your mouth. And I will speak to you next week.